This is outside.
Did not?
I didn't see him.
Just when I came, I saw. If you find, just call him. Where did she go?
How are you feeling, Swami?
I'm okay, much better.
Much better, good. So, are we going to finish the book today?
Hope so.
Did you
But
find
this
out
is the
if-
book I was thinking that you should the chapter is read yourself.
Yeah.
For our recapitulation,
Mhm.
sometimes will be good because it's a very wonderful book.
Thanks.
She was sitting on the floor and talking. Okay, so
We're very far.
it's almost the end. No, a few verses are Sanskrit verses.
Look at this.
Yeah, only last 2, 4, 5 verses are there.
Yeah.
So we are in the end now. Okay, so let us chant. What did he say? Ashatu ma sadgamaya tamasho ma jyotirgamaya mrityurma amritam ramaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness and ignorance to light and illumination. Lead us from death to immortality. Om peace, peace, peace. Okay, so you came together. Ashok and you came together.
Yeah. I drove him here.
Yeah,
I'm going to drive him home too.
that should be. Okay, so this was the last chapter we are just reading. It is called the Prapatti of Ramanuja. That means taking refuge at the feet of the Lord. Difference between surrender and this refuge in the Lord. Sanskrit word has different meaning. Sharanagati and Prapatti. These are the two terminology. First one, Sharanagata. People being tired in life's troubles and to hold on to something by practicing all the 9-fold devotional practice we are reading so many years. practicing, their mind becomes pure and spontaneously they fell at the feet of the Lord. There is nothing but you, O Lord, surrender. But this property, what he is talking here, this can happen to any person. Apparently, we don't find that he is a deep spiritual person. He is practicing religion or practicing austerity, nothing. Maybe very worldly. But suddenly there came an event has happened. Some blow has come from their personal life or in someone's death, someone's bereavement, and suddenly that person becomes a totally transformed and then take total refuge in God. So that is a difference between the first one and this one. And so this verse says, here we have read a few, but today, well, just these are the support of this system that yes, if you take refuge in Him, then your all problems are gone. Yeah, you need not have to worry about your meditation, your prayer, because He takes care of it, the rest of it.
Yeah, in the connection that you're talking about, Swami, they mentioned Girish Ghosh.
Yeah, Girish Ghosh.
Taking.
Yeah, Girish Ghosh, apparently such and such person. I told the story of Billo Amangal, that man who was very much addicted to prostitution and life like that, and then he could not even arrest his emotions on the day of his father's death, and he swam the ocean, not the ocean, the river, no boat in the midnight, and that pouring rain, and knocked at the door of that lady, and then she spontaneously said, "You are so much fascinated with me that today you come. Such is your such situation. Your father passed away, and you did the last burning of your father's body, and just you run here." Had a little part of that mind that been done to God, Krishna, then you would have been released from all bondage. Hearing that, it turned totally in one moment, a split moment, that transformation came. And at that moment, just in that rain, worked out and became a great saint called Billo Mangal. Tulsidas' story is also like that. So many saints are there, where in Western mysticism also you find some lives of the saints, where they're not extraordinary from the childhood or did some austerity. That first type of surrender. And this type of surrender which comes out of the blue as it were. And then they take such grip at the feet of the Lord that they transcend all types of duality of life. So this is the chapter we are reading.
Is that the one you call the heroic devotee?
This is called the propatti. This is technical term, propatti, taking refuge in the Lord, or saranagati, or propatti. This philosophy that anyone, by main thing is by any means, if one takes refuge in God, so he is free soul. He need not have to worry about what we have done, what I good did, bad did, and everything will be wiped away like a tsunami flood. No, it sweeps away everything. Who cares what, good or bad? No distinction there. And you become totally absorbed in God consciousness. So we have read the verses 1 and 2. Just I will read the English translation. We have read page 251.
Yeah, we're up to we read through 4.
4. Okay. So what is read? Narada says, a person who has unreservedly taken refuge in the Lord, giving up all idea of agency that I am doing, is no longer a servant of the devas, rishis, bhutas, living beings, or pitris, or for this reason is no longer a debtor to them. That means he is not obliged to anybody. Even gods have no control over him. He is not indebted to follow the rituals of the all the divine entities, or the god of Yama, death. He has nothing, no one can control. He has taken refuge like this. Next verse, we read on page 252. What is there unattainable to such a high-minded soul, such high-minded souls, as have resigned themselves to the holy feet of the Lord? The penance for every kind of misery here. Lord, this is the panacea for every kind of misery here and hereafter. That means these high-minded souls who have resigned, Bhagavad is praising them. They are high-minded. They are not ordinary. Who can take refuge at the feet of the Lord? Who can trust in God? Who can think whatever has happened, I am fully under Him, and I don't care for anything. Death comes, suffering comes, misery comes, joy comes. Everything is nullified. So they are the high-minded souls who have resigned themselves at the feet of the Lord, and that surrender, that type of thing is a panacea of for every kind of misery in life. What type of misery? All type of dukkha. Misery means dukkha. 3 types of dukkha. The dukkha I create myself. Dukkha or suffering created by somebody for me, where I am not directly responsible, or by natural calamity, or say on the Easter day they are going to pray, and that is the calamity comes. No, so it is no one whom to blame. Yes, somebody has a plan, but why I become the victim of that time?
Right.
So it cannot be. So he transcends everything. Whatever, it does not bother for a devotee. because he tunes himself to God consciousness. Fourth verse. One who has surrendered oneself at the feet of the Lord never comes within the sphere of Yama. Everyone is fearful about Yama. Yama means the god of death, because he is the punisher. Oh, you did this, you will be gone to the hell. Which hell?
Yeah.
they will send us to the hell.
He decides.
He decides, because amount of bad deeds and other things done, accordingly, he is the judge.
So he's the accountant.
He is the accountant and he is the final authority to punish. His unfailing judgment, and you are put into the dungeon of hell, or which hell. We have 7 hells in Hinduism. Tala, Atala, Bitala, Talatala, Sutala, Rasatala, Talatala. Come, are we here?
Really bad.
Huh?
That must be really bad.
Talatala, Rasatala. There is no downgrade more than that. You cannot think of
There's
any
the bottom of the hell.
bottom of the hell. So anyhow, according to this, according to your punishment. So everyone is afraid. Yama is holding me. Even Hindus say, Yama is holding your tuft hair. He may pull you anytime. Hey, come back home. Come back to my region. That means our lifespan depends on Yama's grace. That means we are afraid of him. But this Saranagato, he who has surrendered to God, he does not care even Yama.
Yeah, like Nachiketa didn't care
care
about
nothing.
Yama. He's like, whatever, just a guy, another guy I talk to.
And when he thought, he took it in a different way. Yama is the god of death, but this god of death is God. How he got that? He was a holy person. But he had the desire, I am holy though, still I like to be the manager. Many monks are there, wandering monks. They don't want to be anything. But we also wanted to be a monk. But being a monk, and now Belur, of course, I don't say make me this. But Belur Math has make me this position. This position, as a monk, I have no desire to have it. But now being in this position, I say, hey, don't do this, don't do that, this, that. No. So this is the Yama was that for Nachiketa. Because he is a good soul. He who knows Brahman, that's why he is God. God of death is a high position. It does not happen to everyone. He is such a realized soul that he will judge impartially with no prejudice, Brahma Drishti, Shama Drishti, but only just keeping the amount of activity good and bad, he puts that punishment or reward like that. So the god of death, whose angry face cows down the whole world with the power and energy emanating from it. So it's a terrifying figure. No one wants to. That's why many people, before death, they see some emissaries, That guy is coming and dark. Some people have very bad experience before death. Before death, they feel some fearful forms coming and this and that.
Is that their guilty conscience, do you think?
Many people report that way.
Wow.
Depending on their good life or bad life.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying, is if they lived a bad life, then they have more reason to be afraid. If you lived a good life, you have more reason to...
No, then that time you will find that God's emissaries are coming. The same, he's sending 2 emissaries, go this way, go that way. Because of the fearful thing, a police comes, suppose.
Yeah.
A policeman comes here and will be say, hello, come, what's the name? How?
Right.
But if I am a thief, or if I have committed something, then if see this there, and then my heart will palpitating and I'll be scared to see. No? So 2 type of people will be behaving. The person the same. Even the punisher, he comes, but it depends on his own good, bad action. Now 5. There is none who surpasses him in greatness and could therefore cause him surprise. That means those who are who have taken total surrender or refuse to God, there is no one who surpasses him, this man who has taken surrender, and in greatness, and could therefore cause him surprise. So he does not does not become surprised seeing some holy or unholy person, because he is the superior because of his surrender. He tunes with the God, and that the small he become big H, capital. He is absorbed in the bliss of his all comprehending self and seeks satisfaction from nothing external. So as a result, what happens? He is absorbed in the bliss of his all-comprehending self. This self, which is small self, he finds that he is all-comprehending everywhere. He is present everywhere. So he need not have to fear anybody. If you feel that you are everywhere, so your idea of good and bad goes away. If you see God everywhere, nothing. So whether anyone is there in only this Brahma Jnana gives that. Similarly, this surrender, if one takes surrender to God, his vision opens up like that. Because he sees God, and God everywhere. Not there is a demon, not there is someone, a Yama to kill me or to punish me. That type of idea cannot come. It surpasses all. He is unaffected by the change, and he is all peace. Any changes come in life, we get really very much affected. Change for the good, change for the bad. But change for the good is okay, no one cares about that. But when change comes, which creates some turmoil, no? One's lifestyle had to change because of financial crisis, or anything happened. Being you are a Christian, to Islam will be after you. Being a Hindu, you'll have to think about what the other religion is thinking about. This type of all types of fear.
Yeah, well, it's also true though that change causes stress. And whether it's a positive change or a negative change, it still causes stress in your life. Like in psychology, they have this stress list, and it's how many points. But like getting married and moving houses and stuff is on there too, because that causes stress.
Yeah.
But Swami, if you are spiritual, you must embrace change. Change is your friend. Because you don't have attachment, right?
Yeah.
And fear, you let go of fear.
Yeah.
That is, you don't have that problem.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's why a person who is surrendered to God and who thinks that God is all comprehensive everywhere, so he will not have any fear.
Yeah. Take it in stride.
I took refuge in him who is the embodiment of everything, who is the support of all beings. So all fear goes away. Normally, where people become fearful. So that's why he says the changes. He unaffected. He thinks everything is happening. Bhakta, the devotees, look at any change comes, they think, oh, it is for my good. The Lord is bringing this for my benefit. It may be you don't understand that time. Remember that story? Come here. You can see it here. You see that story of the two friends. Too many times I told that the son of a the minister and the son of a king, prince and minister's son. Both are friends, and they went for a in a hunting, riding a horse. And they went into a deep forest and then lost their track. And then while going through thick wooded forest, and the prince scratched his body and profuse bleeding started. And then the other friend was the Saranagata, surrendered to God. He said, he is unaffected by any change. So he said, wow, what has happened is God's grace. It's God's grace. And we say, what? I am bleeding and it is God's grace. So he got very mad, and then he was riding, and he was finding an opportunity when he can just give a good lesson to his friend. All his God's good, okay, and he pushed him into a deep well, and the poor friend jumped and fell into the water. It's not a dirty water, and he didn't know how to climb up, an unused well in a deep forest, and then then Prince said, "Hey, whatever happens, it is for good." Ah, he whatever he was doing that, and he angrily went away. And what happened? He was caught by some tantric people who want human sacrifice. They do some rituals to gain power and extraordinary position. They have some type of rituals to human sacrifice, and got that boy. Prince looks so bright. Who will be better candidate than that of a prince? So they were very happy and caught him and took him to the, and then they took him to bath and get fed well, and then brought him to the slaughtering place. And then there all the pujari will come. He will perform all worship and mantras and this and that. But before that, he wanted to check the person who is to be offered. He saw that his whole hand is all body is scratched and the blood and this. Look, what did you bring here? It cannot be offered to the mother. Get out. So he got released. And now the prince could understand the changes, what happened, changes that is for the good. And then he went back, and now my friend then told me the right thing, but I didn't understand. Okay, Sai, I should have to apologize, and I should go and beg apology and fall at his feet and try to rescue him. What a rude person. I throw him into the well, and he's in the well. It's still now. And so we went back and found out, and then found a friend and pulled him out. And then he said, "Please forgive me." He fell at the feet. He said, "No, friend. Whatever happens, it's good for." Well, good. You are too good to say. But no. Realistically, even look at that. If we were together and you are not angry and you didn't pull me into this ditch, so these people who caught you, they will get me also. So when they will let you go, and I will be the victim. So my life is being saved. So they accept the change. That is the point in our life. We feel frightened to go for that. But here is the change, and he is in peace, all peace. এখানে আসুন, চেয়ার আছে, বড় চেয়ার আছে, এই যে চেয়ারটা টেনে। So always he is not so frightened about change. And second point is he is always in peace. There are people always disgruntled. Everything is there. Still, this is good. That is bad. That's why contentment is a good virtue. But this Saranagata, the person who has totally surrendered to God, there's no reason of his mind being agitated at any point. He knows God is there for me. A baby knows mother is there for me. Finish. That's why it's a common statement. We never hear that a baby has anxiety problem. Baby has anxiety problem only when the baby is away from mom. No. If baby at the gun point, baby will smile because he is in the lap of mother. So similarly, one who takes refuge in God, like thinking mother is there for me, I am in her care. So he accepts the changes. Changes are not a problem. And not only that, he always keeps in peace. The man who abandons him and seeks shelter in another, that means anyone like us, forgetting or taking surrender in God and try to take refuge in world and worldly people. We take refuge in a man of power, man of position, man or woman of strength, monetary support. That type of patient for overcoming samsara is silly. Like one is trying to cross the ocean with the support of a dog's tail. That means that means you will sink. Surely you will sink. So that means emphasis is given. Take refuge in God. And then you need not to worry about anything. No fear. Whatever comes, changes, welcome. And inner peace will be there, because nothing bad, though bad apparently, but it is no bad. That is the thing it will happen. So totally free from anxieties and worries. That will, and it is a foolishness, as we are all fools most of the time. We try, but we forget even all these things. Therefore, we take refuge. Make it off.
It's off, Maharaj. I
Off.
don't know why he called.
Acha. So now it happens. No, but whenever there is phone, it happens to all. Every now and then.
Maharaj, let me ask you one question.
Hmm.
The question is that surrendering is one thing. That means we surrender to Lord. And is there any place in this surrendering to use our intellect or brain for before surrendering?
Who is talking about that? That is the question. Who is surrendering? If, like people like us, yes, we'll have to. We are not that. We say, I take surrender. Wholeheartedly, we cannot. We have our calculating mind. Whatever you say, I surrender, and then I afraid. That means you are afraid means you have not surrendered. For that reason, you use your brain. You are a student of 10th grade. I am a student of grade 1. If I am in the grade 1, behave like a grade 1 boy. Yes, I also try my best, and he will also help. But surrender means surrender. There will be no question of anything. People come with a gun in hand, surrender. God will take care. Okay. The story of Sri Ramakrishna, the weaver. He says, or the man who was taking rest in the summer, resting in the outside, and a bunch of highway robbers were passing by, and they stole so many things from some house, and they cannot carry anymore. They're searching for a man, and he's a hefty man, and sleeping outside, and saw that the roadside there is someone on a home, and it was hot summer. So he caught that guy. Hey, come, carry the load, and put all the load on him, and drive him. Come with us, otherwise kill you. So when he was police chase sometime, and that's a police suddenly, while we were going like that, and police suddenly appeared and chased, and as a result, the real culprits, they ran away. And the poor guy who was forced to carry the load, he was caught with the material. Naturally, the police took him to the jail and kept him in jail till before it is presented before the judge. And then when took him to the judge, then he said, judge wanted to know what happened. Tell me, what is your point? Why? Why are you carrying all this? He said, by Rama's will. It was a hot summer. By Rama's will, I was trying to sleep inside, but it was so hot I could not. By Rama's will, I came out, and I was lying in the outside courtyard and with a cot. And by Rama's will, I was almost dozing. Suddenly, by Rama's will, some of the dacoits came and hold my hand and pushed me and forced me to carry all this on my head. And I was carrying. By Rama's will, then the police came. By Rama's will, then all the culprits, they ran away. By Rama's will, I was caught. By Rama's will, I was put to jail last night. By Rama's will, they brought me before you, sir. So seeing this honesty of this person, Judge, those days judgment was different type. So seeing and the innocence of the world, they released him. So this is Rama's will. Who can see Rama's will when he was restless and could not sleep? Rama's will. Rama's will forced him to go to take a nap outside, and Rama's will is almost dozing off. And Rama's will, the thieves came, the Rama's will, they forced him to carry the load. Everything is happening Rama's will. Let me say, no, it is Rama. Sharanagata means anything which is happening, it is by your will. Huh? There comes a high grade student. For them, no judgment. I will do nothing. Whatever comes is Rama's will. It's a very high level. But when we cannot do that and we keep a judgmental mind inside, after that we think, hey, I should have said this. I should have reacted like that. I made a mistake and I was a fool. Afterwards you judge like that. Then you are not neither this side, neither that side. Better to utilize our brain. Normally we suggest that yes, you do your judgment, but after doing judgment, surrender and say, this is my judgment, oh Lord, now you guide me. With that surrendering mood, whatever do. It may bring good, it may bring bad. Rama's will is not good all the time here. He was put to jail. He had to carry the load. Police got beating from the police also for doing nothing, apparently. But it is Rama's will. So if one can take that type of mental state, good. But for ordinary people, better to, because how much we say, unless mind is very pure, mind is totally devoted to God alone, then this spirit will not be there. So therefore, to use our own judgment, and after using that judgment, purify it, sanctify it, surrendering to God. This is my will. This is my calculation. I may be wrong. I may be right. I do not know. I surrender. Then you guide my mind. Dhiyo yona prachodaya. Oh Lord, please guide my understanding. Please guide my direction of life. So that is.
Swamiji, is it also correct that for ordinary people like us, that the same thing you are saying, that we, in any situation where some action is needed, we do our best
because we
to
are
take that action.
Of course, we have
but
to do that.
Then whatever happens after that, we accept it. That is the surrender.
No. Surrender will be under the circumstances you have to take action. But before you take action, you need not have to take action by your own understanding. I understand this. No. Whatever you understand, the best decision you take, as I said, get it tasked by, sanctioned by the boss. You make your own suggestion, present it to the boss. And now, oh boss, is it okay or not? You want amendment, correction, do everything. And then guide me. At least that prayer. God will not say, hey, change your this plan, that plan, that plan. If you are fortunate, yes, He may also, your tendency, you are taking a decision, you will change your decision. You will bend little on the right side, bend little on the left side. So your decision will be sanctified, purified, authorized, stamped by God. And then good, it does not mean that good will come. Arjuna took total refuge, no? Arjuna Gita started when? Karpanna doso pahata svabha prichami tvang dharma sangmura cheta jatsreya shat tanme bruhi tanme shishyaste aham shadhi mang tvang prapannam. The same, prapanna. I take refuge under you, oh Krishna. I do not know, bewildered by this. Shall I fight? Shall I not? He's my friend. I'll kill them and do. I don't want. I want to be a monk. I don't want to get into this confusion. This is my conflict. Is it? Shall I do that? I am bewildered. I take refuge And
you guide me.
you guide me. And there comes the whole Gita's guidance is Krishna standing behind. Look at that. Arjuna is fighting in the front, but Krishna only driving, means driving the whole movement. Which direction you will go, where you will stand, and he's only at the background. So guided by Krishna, Arjuna was fighting. But when Arjuna is fighting, does not mean that Abhimanyu was killed. Was he not crying for that my son being killed? I will take a revenge. All this. It does not mean it is a good path. It is a very smooth path. We always think I will take refuge in God. Everything good will come. Everyone praise me. And my life will be smooth. No. It does not. That is a wrong concept. That's a Christian idea. I am a spiritual person. I go to church. My wealth will come. My money will come. And I will be prosperous. That's why they used to say in Indians are heathens, because they see the poverty. See that what spiritual? Spiritual means you will be like a kingly like us. So that is not the point. It brings poverty, financial crisis, serious health hazard, insult from others, bereavement. Your son is being killed. A child has been killed by the 7 Maharathis, great warriors. No, cannot fight individually. They have not that power. He will conquer them. But that pain, that type of son, losing such a son for Arjuna, what a pain. But Arjuna, Krishna is standing there. He was upset, but he knows it is Krishna is the guide. That is the power of that. Spirituality does not allow us to think that all my problems will go away. Financial problem, emotional problem, relational problem, or health problem, or social injustice, everything. Nothing. Only it will give you the strength to stand up and keep the peace. So the man seeks shelter in another, there is a mistake. Now, verse number 6. In this world, there are ready remedies given for sorrow and suffering. In this world, there are many easy solutions are given to solve the problem. But they often fail. Easy some solution is there. You have some pain, go and get some operation done, or go get some new change in this way. But these are temporary remedies. But sorrows and suffering may be momentarily forgotten for that. Same drug, drinking is an easy remedy. You are in trouble, you are in pain, okay, have a drug. And then forget that and you'll be in high. But it is not a solution. Even using them, you may fail. Today's people, how they get more and more into addiction. First they start drinking little bit, that was enough. Now next day, you need little more quantity. And quantity, increase quantity. Then Girish used to say, I have taken 2 bottles of wine when he came to Ramakrishna. I don't get that much intoxication. What brand of wine you got? He asked Ramakrishna. What brand of wine you got? That you are so intoxicated, more than me. And when he's talking, he has 1 bottle on his right and another on the left. And he entered into Ramakrishna's room at Dakshineshwar. So, the intoxication can sometimes reduce your suffering, forget your miseries and pain, but sometimes may not. That's why I say, but they often fail, or their effects are of short duration. In the case of those who have been abandoned by God. No? Even a worldly solution where it should work, but it does not happen sometimes. You can think, because you have not taken refuge in God. If you have taken refuge in God, not that the suffering will go away. It will go through, but your mind will be tuned in a different level, so it will not bother you.
There were different kinds of intoxication. One man was God intoxicated. The other one was intoxicated with alcohol.
That's why Ramakrishna, what he sang, sang a beautiful song then. When Girish put this question, and Ramakrishna sang that song, Surapan Kurinayami Sudha Khai Joy Kali Bole. What he sang, Ramakrishna? I don't drink wine, but I drink the nectar, Sudha. Khai, I drink. Joy Kali Bole. My mantra, my drink is Jai Kali. মন মাতালে মাতাল বলে মদ মাতালে মাতাল না মন মাতালে মদ মাতালে মাতাল বলে মন মাতালে মাতাল করে. You drink more wine. When you drink wine, mod, that's the mod means wine. Matal, if you drink more, that it makes you intoxicated outside. But mon matale, my mind is intoxicated in mother's name. That really that it makes you intoxicated, really intoxicated. So when you get intoxicated in the name of mother, what happens to the body? Who cares? Even drunk people, if they fall into the ditch or bleed, they don't know what is happening to the body. In that state of mind, and even in the drug, when you are in that drug condition, what happens to the physical condition? Who cares? They are not in that condition. So similarly, if the mind is intoxicated in the name of God, what will happen? It will have tremendous impact. It will not affect. Body will go through, but the person will be in high level with a tune to God. So that is the effect of Saranagati. That's why it is maybe of short duration in the case of those who have abandoned God. No, D means God. For it is sin that a father may fail to give shelter to a child. Even here means in the society, in life we see, because of something, father may abandon the child. Or a medicine can fail to cure an ailment. You take the same antibiotic, it fails. It should work. It worked for many people, say cancerous things now. And they are giving one type of medicine. They thought that it worked with others. It may, but no. Here is something else. It may not work. And a boat may fail to save a man drowning in the sea. Sometimes it may happen. But refuge, if one takes refuge, there is no fall. There is no sinking. Because you live in another higher consciousness where this earthly gain, loss will not be any issue. But you are not in that level. You are not in the level of this suffering. This is Ramakrishna's intoxicated mood. You should read the divine play, the chapter, Ramakrishna's intoxicated mood of sadhana. What was his mental condition? And many people make a mistake that what is spirituality. They make a mistake. That's why Swami Sharadananda has written a very scholarly, at the same time, authentic description of what is real intoxication. And when it happens, that intoxication, you are not aware what is going through your body. You have not eaten whole day, but you are not hungry. Because you do not know the physical body is in its own rule. And physical body also don't need all these things what I need now. Breakfast is necessary, lunch is necessary, supper is necessary. But when one mind is absorbed in something, they don't care. Whole day is gone. He does not feel hunger or don't anything. It's going on. So this is the effect of intoxication. Similarly, surrender. If one can take surrender, he whom thou hast forsaken has no shelter. That means it's saying, oh Lord, if anyone is beyond, it does not come unto the fold of your grace, he is lost. Even things which should do work well, it does not work. With God's grace, it works. In many meaning that if one takes refuge in God, everything turns well for the spiritually well. In most of the cases, our misconception is to be clarified that I am a spiritual person, why it is happening to me? This is not true. Spiritual person and physical happenings is not two things, don't have any common point there. Physical body will go in physical body's rule. Your car engine will work in the engine, how it works, no?
So, I mean, I think there's a related point to that, which is people think that if they're spiritual, that they also shouldn't have bad karma, and that if they did something that, if they're suffering, that they were bad, and that it's a consequence of their prior bad action.
Yeah, but people don't think that way. Rather, if most of the people will say, I am a good man, I have not done anything. Why, if he goes one step back, why it is coming to me? Maybe I have done something else. If that comes, then you are no problem. But most of the people don't see that way. I am an honest person. I don't tell a lie. I don't hurt anyone. I don't cheat anyone. And they are cheating me with my innocence. No? This is the common statement. But if yes, if you think that if they are doing their thing, but I am okay. I surrender to God.
One has to face their karma.
That's you suggesting that if you take that attitude, then that's also another way of keeping the mind in peace.
But then,
Take the responsibility. That Vedanta teaches. Don't blame anyone, but say,
Yeah.
I am responsible for my sufferings.
Well, and just like you said with the story at the beginning, is to say if it's good or bad, right?
Mm.
It may save your life.
Yeah.
with the story of that man who was the king and started taking Rama's name and the grass cutter.
Well, we are all by our karma. You want to hear another story?
Yeah.
Maharaj, if I can talk to mother, I can ask her,
Then you can ask me,
Mother,
how do you know?
why? Huh?
If you have that much faith, mother,
Yeah.
then it's okay.
I
That means you have faith.
Yes, I have.
That is the point. You have no problem. But suppose you can talk to him, why for me, mother? Yes. Ramakrishna used to say, hey mother, what is happening? Why it is happening? And mother will say something. So
Yeah.
you are done.
Mother
That means-
gives answer.
And that's the point. When that range, you are free. But I'm talking of when we don't do that. So there is a story that two sadhus. So one sadhu, also I better change the story in Western style. One good priest went to heaven. He did all charitable activity, this, that. Okay, went into the heaven. And then Peter said, Sir, come. With honor. He showed him a big house with all arrangement for his taking care of his food. And then he was staying there, and suddenly he found that another gentleman came, and he was a Swami Sananda's example. He was a taxi driver. And he was a preacher. First man is the preacher. So preacher whole day, as you are saying, I am teaching God, this, that, no? So according to your work, you have been given a very nice home in the heaven and enjoy heavenly joy. And then he found that to see him, really few people come. And he's mostly alone. And not much food comes, not much honor, gift, nothing comes. And soon came one person in another nearby house and say, what happened? Food is coming, people are running, all flocks are running there and with gifts and things and that. Then he inquired, what is this guy? He said that, he was a taxi driver in New York, taxi driver. Then he said, what? A taxi driver? And he is in the heaven? And being in heaven, He is so much adored by people. They are bringing gifts and all these things. And I am a preacher. I preached whole life about Christ, God, heaven and all these things. And this is and he's getting more than me. Then it was dissatisfied. Then he went to Peter and said, what is this? Peter then said, yes, what you did? Well, I was a preacher. What you did? Well, I preached. And when you preached, what happened? Everyone went to sleep. Listening, your preaching was such powerful that you put everyone to sleep. That's why your karma. And you buy anyhow, you did some good karma. That's why you given a good house here. Because you talked about God. And what happened? What taxi driver do more than me? Well, when taxi driver drive in New York, everyone said, oh my God, oh my God, God sent me, God sent me. So they brought so many people into God consciousness. And what you taught them to go to sleep.
Maharaj, that's what happened in Manhattan.
No.
The car goes like taxi are going like
in our Calcutta also it happened. Anyhow, so point is that one's karma. That is another good example too. But we are talking now not of karma or anything. We are talking about Saranagati, surrender. What is the benefit of Saranagati? Okay, next verse.
Yes, note.
Note. Oh, note. The idea is that God alone is the ultimate support for men. What we call worldly support are relative and are dependent on His will. Who will support in our life? Who will come in our rescue? You think you will decide? No, it's decided by God. You decide somebody, you go to a lawyer that will support your case. Seeing your poor condition, he exploits you. He goes to the other party, he gets money from both sides. It happens many times. So they may succeed or fail according to His will, of which we have no foreknowledge. That means it is saying everything in the world is happening by God's will. If you know, you surrender to Him, then by His grace, the right things will happen in a way. May not be joyful for you, may not be very graceful for you, may not be very uplifting for you. But that has a meaning, and you will be in your mental peace. A devotee who is resigned must have this background of thought. You are resigning to God, you have to have this background in your thought, that in all His undertaking, everything I am doing, ultimately I am doing, but what will happen? What God's want. God's will be successful. So this idea is to be, that's a practice we can do. In our practice we can do that. I am doing everything, but ultimately in God's hand. What is designed, what is ordained, what He plans, it will happen. Then 7th verse. Which intelligent man would seek shelter in anyone other than Thee, means, O Krishna, O Lord, the lover of devotees. You are the lover of devotees. You love the devotees. So if one takes surrender in you, naturally your natural tendency will be to protect. So you, the lover of devotees, for example, lover of devotees, in the high heaven, then Narayana was resting. And then that washerman tried to hit that devotee who was walking intoxicated in the name of Krishna, 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 and he trampled over the wet, washed clothes and making dirty. And naturally the washerman was going to kill or strike him. So to protect the devotee, the Lord immediately was running to protect. But within a split second he went back. Why? Narayana said, because the devotee has now taken a piece of stone to hit back. So he is taking action. So I have nothing to do then. If you have to surrender at that moment, you have to surrender also. That is the point. You remember that a sadhu was learned that everything is God, no? So sadhu was beaten. It is he was going and some miscreants beat him and he fell unconscious and almost dead. The monastic sadhan, knowing that his condition, he came and rescued that monk and then fed him milk and with one whatever the precaution they could take to revive him. So he came back into consciousness. He said, hello. When he first was aware, then he asked, the other monks asked, who did this to you? And then that man said, he who is feeding me the milk, he has done this to me. It is Rama's will. Someone is beaten, no anger, no revenge, no reaction. It's only possible for a spiritual person who has taken refuge in God. By God's will, God is done by God, by His will. No one have any power to do anything. Ramakrishna said the will is God, is so strong that even the leaf only moves. That's what the will of the Lord. So he says that the lover of the devotees, God is lover of the devotees, or the devotees of those people who are the truthful people, who holds on to truth. God loves them. The benevolent people, those who are in their charity, in their heart, they are benevolent and grateful. So, what intelligent man would seek shelter in anyone, not on God, and that God who is the lover of the devotees, who is the lover of the truthful people, lover of the benevolent people, lover of the grateful people. So, if we think that I am a benevolent person, so I am a truthful person, I am a devotee of God. If that type of people take refuge, so that is the intelligent person. Not that in chaturi. There is a word that intelligence is called intelligence, by which your mind moves towards God. Many intelligent people in the world, and they are more intelligent because they can just twist, turn their statement and not caught into their argument and things. That is not intelligent. That is called the real intelligence, by which we can get out of the bondage of birth and death and suffering and joy. Thou bestowest all heart's desire of your intimate devotees who serve you. Oh God, that is your glory. When you really, a devotee serves you wholeheartedly, you take responsibility of that devotee. You serve back, rather. Rather, God serves back the devotee. Devotees serve the God. That's one thing. In our case, we serve God. We go to take a flower in the temple. We offer this and that. We cook for them. We do this is you are serving. But this service is done more from this side also. When one wholeheartedly does that, then God takes care of it more. Nay, you even give yourself unto them. The Krishna becomes a servant of the lovers of God, gopis. Gopis love Krishna, but in return, Krishna becomes just enslaved in the love of the gopis. They are so pure, so dedicated. So similarly, it is an example. Even others, say Arjuna, he took all the responsibility of Arjuna. In his you read the whole episode of Ramayana, you see, or Krishna, I think Mahabharata, that all the trials and tribulations and consolation is coming from Krishna. How to handle the situation, how to overcome the situation. And he has taken the total responsibility. There is no ebb and flow in your love. Ebb and flow. There is no ebb and flow in the love. God's love, in our love there is ebb and flow. Our life gets in a high tide and low tide. Human love, relationship, or love in the relationship, sometimes high, sometimes low. But in God's love, there is no high, there is no low. It's the equal flow goes on for God and God. So what is the time? So we are aimed here. So we'll have to take another day then. So 7th verse we did. Acha, now we'll start next after finishing this book. We can do 2A. Because you are reading this book, I would encourage, what about that, Parama? If you think about that, the 9 chapters are there. Some 9 people can take one chapter each, and we can really, in brief, present that idea. That will be a note. We can borrow each other and we can synopsis of this book.
Okay. Like a final exam.
Final exam, and then we can think about that, and then we start this book.
Yeah.
And this book I have already said today. I have sent it to Durga, and she will send that link. Everyone can read. It is open PDF file, so you can read, or you can, if you want to come here, bring that 10 printed pages, 5 printed pages.
Is it available in the bookstore?
No, it is not available, and I don't want to go to that trouble.
Okay.
And even they may not be full, whatever our requirement. It is not available. It can be written someplace, and the Sarvadesapana tried, and then maybe 8-10 copies may be available or not. So that if it is available on PDF file, why is the problem? Anyone can access it.
Right.
On your computer, just go click and
Maharaj Atma told me that it's also available on Amazon Kindle.
oh.
So I have a Kindle.
Also, yeah,
Put the book on my
yeah,
Kindle.
on your Kindle you can read. Then you don't need anything.
Yeah.
Anyhow, now
Not
technology.
hard copies, just in Kindle.
Yeah. I don't know. This is what I was
Maybe
told.
available in Amazon as well.
Yeah, I'll take a
Ah.
picture.
They will send you everything bullshit again. First you receive it, check it, click it, what problem, then find the solution. But I don't want that solid problem to come here. Don't ask the book here. Because it's not there, and also to order and come, and how many copies we do not know. So they may have some few copies, may not. Why to go for this? Rather you will work hard then. Book is there, you don't read it. Just book is there, and I have a book. But how many times you read it? It is good to help. Now, if you have the book, it helps us.
It's always easier in Amazon. They have everything there.
I'll take a picture.
That is the same website. I have sent you. Hey Jay. Jai Ma. Hey Jay. You can come. Parma. And this is the more detail.
Okay. Okay.
We'll go for tea, cup of tea. So, but who will do what? At least 1 or 2 people should be committed.
Should be what?
I'll do one.
You,
I'll do one.
one, chapter
Bill will
1.
do one.
I'll do one.
Avitra will do one.
So
Dave will do one.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
Huh?
that's
Which
very
chapter?
straight.
Which one?
No,
Oh, chat. Sorry. I don't know. I thought your name was Dave. Oh, we don't have a book.
Sure.
Okay.
Off করে দাও।
So I
I have
have
no
this-
rice.
Next month we'll have
You know what?
to finish this review.
no, that's
Oh, yeah, you
যারা